Hello everybody! Welcome to another art lesson with Miss Knutson. I have missed you guys. I haven't made a video in quite a while, and I asked Tessa if she wanted to make a video today, and she said she did. So it's good to have help. Yes, it is. Okay, so the other day in my brick and mortar art class, the one that I actually show up in person and teach, we did a lesson that involves watercolors. And so Tessa was like, are we gonna paint today? And I said, yes, we're gonna paint today. So what I did with my art class that I actually show up in person for was a lesson about Winslow Homer. And the book that I use for this lesson, or at least for the information on Winslow Homer for young ones, is this one, Discovering Great Artists. This is a great book that has each page is dedicated to an artist and has a project on it. Okay? Now, the project that is associated with Winslow Homer is a watercolor project, but we are going to take it up a notch because what I love to do with this assignment is incorporate some mixed media elements. I will include some slides of his artwork in this lesson so we can get a better grasp as to what we're looking at creating for our finished product. Excuse me. So I want to show you guys some examples that I've collected and I love of Winslow Homer's work. And some of them are watercolors and some of them are not. But we can definitely see what his influence is going to be on our project today as we paint sea and sky. Okay, so let's take a minute and look at those slides.
I want you to take a look at these slides of Winslow Homer's work. He did many sea and sky paintings, and many of them were with watercolors. Notice the difference between the still water that he will paint and the very stormy seas that he will paint. Notice the difference in the texture of the water and the colors in the sky. Notice how many different colors he will put in his paintings. As we practice making a sea and sky composition today, see how many colors you can incorporate into your scene and use Winslow Homer as an example. You're going to get to practice doing watercolor sky today, as well as create an ocean. So let's take a look at our project.
Okay, so here is my example that I showed to my class the other day. So what we have done is we have painted a sky, very stormy sky, okay? There's dark elements to it. You know, maybe this isn't the best time to get in a boat, okay? But then the bottom here, guys, we have used collaged paper, okay? A collage is when you take paper elements and you apply them to a surface. Hey, Tess. And then you glue things onto your artwork. You glue different things on there. So a collage can incorporate a lot of different things, but the majority of things that are in collages are typically paper, objects that can be held down flat with glue, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to create our own color swatches to make an ocean. And then when our swatches dry, we will tear them into the waves on the stormy sea, okay? The things you will need for this project are a piece of watercolor paper, all right? I use about a 9 by 12 piece, and it will hold things to it really well, and it will absorb watercolor paint really well without getting all wavy and weird, all right? So a piece of that is necessary for this assignment. So I'm going to tear one off for Tessa. This will be our base for our painting and our collage. Now, I told you had to make your own paint swatches. So you will need a set of watercolors. Now, since we're going to be using paint, you're going to need brushes, okay? Yeah, probably not the big one. This one is perfect. A watercolor brush is soft like a kitty cat tail. You will get this wet and you will make your color swatches with your watercolor paint and brush. And you'll also need water, a cup of water. There's our cup of water, okay? Don't drink it. Another thing you will need is a nice big sheet of regular drawing paper, okay? This paper is what we will create our paint swatches on. What it will look like when you create paint swatches is... So I was making another one of these projects, and this is that same size of paper, and I made my own color swatches. So you will make these rectangles on your large piece of paper with in the colors that you would like your sea to be. And you can decide if you want it to be a calm, beautiful, you know, Gulf Coast, crystal blue waters of Hawaii, stormy, rocky, tumultuous sea like coastal Maine, which is what Winslow Homer did. So if you would like a stormier ocean, think of what colors you might use for that. But use some variety, and let's take some time to create some swatches of colors for our sea. So I am going to use this blue, my blue Winsor Newton watercolor from my little cute to-go travel set, although it has served me very well. And I'm going to make a rectangle of color, and I'm going to add water to it so that it's kind of translucent, just like water in the ocean. Okay? And you can see I'll go back to my water a couple times because watercolor moves with water. Okay? You don't want it to be sticky or thick. You want it to be watery. You want to be able to kind of see the water pools around it. And it just takes that. That's all you have to do. So Tessa's got some yellows and teals and blues and stuff. She's gonna make a very interesting ocean scene. So I'm gonna let her work on her rectangles for the rest of this page, okay? Now Tessa, using those, make sure you dip it in some water to water it down so it's not like super duper thick. Good job. That is perfect. Good job.
Mercy rains from heaven like confetti at a wedding, and I am celebrating in the downpour. Your heart is wild with color like a never-ending summer. You burn away the winter of my cold and weary.
So once you have completed your swatches, you are going to have to be the most patient soul and wait for paint to dry. But while you wait for paint to dry, we can paint the sky on our Winslow Homer Sea and Sky. I know, the sky. Ooh, don't hit me in the face. The next thing you're gonna do is your student will get their piece of watercolor paper, okay? And what you will need to do with this piece of watercolor paper is you will need to make a horizon line. Now, the horizon, very good, it is, it's that direction. It's horizontal, it goes from left to right. It will go across your paper. So if you guys have ever seen the sunrise over the ocean or set over the ocean, you know the horizon is where you see the sea stop and the sky start. So what you need is just one simple, pretty much straight line. You know, you don't, unless you want to use a ruler, I'm not going to. But you can draw your straightest horizon line with your pencil across your page. Now, you don't have to make it exactly half and half. You can make a little bit of sky, or you can make a lot of sky. It's up to you. But since we're going to be doing a collage toward the bottom, it might be good to give your sea a little bit more space than your sky. So the first thing we're going to do is draw that horizon line, okay? Very good. The next thing you can do is I want you to draw some really simple cloud shapes, okay? And they don't have to be like the cartoon fluffy clouds. They could be stormy looking clouds, you know, stormy clouds kind of. But I want you to draw maybe 2 to 3 clouds in your sky space. Now Tessa gave herself a little sky, so she, you know, you don't have to do huge clouds. But maybe just to give you some spaces to work with to know that's where the clouds are. Tessa has a few clouds. One of them went off the page, which is very fun. We've got some cloud shapes. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some watercolor painting, okay? So the reason why I had Tessa draw the cloud shapes is there's an important lesson to be learned about watercolor. Once you color over something with watercolor, it is very difficult to get it to be white again, all right? So since a lot of clouds in our lives are white or a version of white, I recommend you leave those spaces blank while you draw your or paint your sky. So
add water to your brush and then add a very little bit of color. Paint your sky with a really watery brush and add color in gradually until you get the brightness of your sky that you want. Remember, it's easier to add than it is to take away those colors. Save your clouds for last. Leave them bright white if you wish, or you can make them gray storm clouds or pink sunset clouds. You can also use your paper towel to dab up any blotches that you want to be gone.
Tessa has completed her sky painting. She put all these lovely blues. She kept her clouds white, which is not necessary. You can add different grays or pinks or whatever in your clouds, but she decided to leave hers white. She also chose to use her paper towel, as you can see, to add some really neat textures on her paper, okay? So once you are done with your sky, it is time to do your collage at the bottom for your sea, all right? Now what you're going to do is you're going to use your paint swatches and you're going to tear them. You're going to tear them into pieces and you're going to create the waves of the ocean using the different shades of blues, purples, grays, whatever you want to use for your sea, okay? So you will need a glue stick to do that. And so with your glue stick, you will glue all the way on the back. Make sure you cover every little bit of the back, because if you don't, it won't lay flat. If you want your paper to lay flat, you have to put glue all over the back of the piece. Don't glue the paper and then stick the swatches on top. Put the glue on the swatches and then glue them down. They do not have to be this large. You can make them itty bitty. You can make them small. Whatever Mom can tolerate cleaning up. We're basically making confetti today. Here is Tessa's completed sky and sea collage. She added some really unique colors in this collage, and she decided to keep her waves pretty even going across. There's a few places that looks a little choppy, but when you're dealing with the ocean, you can do really active, huge waves, or you can keep it still and calm, a lot like this. Tessa basically put about one layer on here, but you can build up and make your ocean full of different layers. So again, this was my example. You can see how different our colors are, with mine is more stormy and Tessa's is more happy and still. Now, if you happen to have even older students, you can use this technique. Hey, Tess. You can use this technique for a lot of different things. So if you have, maybe a student who's 12 or older, you might find that assigning this project will give them a really fun sense of trying to create a natural landscape with a very unique method. But I actually have been working on this for a little while, and it's been really fun for me to do. So this is an entire piece that's just paint swatches that I made and then created collage on it. So if you have an older student, I would encourage you to stick them on this assignment, to make the same art, the same color swatches, and have them try to create a landscape using the swatches that they made. I'll have a little bit more information at the tail end of this video, but thanks so much for joining us today. I really enjoyed this assignment. That's why I wanted to share it with you. Thank you, Tessa, for joining us and for making a wonderful piece of art. I love seeing these all together. Again, I'll have more information at the end of this video, and we will do another one soon.
'Cause you're a sky, 'cause you're a sky full of stars. I'm gonna give you my heart. 'Cause you're a sky, 'cause you're a sky full of stars. 'Cause you light up the park. I don't care, go on and tear me apart. I don't care.
You know what I forgot? A microphone.
She forgot her microphone. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. I like reading books.